Hello, my name is Cody Filion, and my project is a personal finance tracker. So, this project is specifically tailored to college students like myself. And a big responsibility that we have stepping into college is the management of our own finances, managing our income and keeping track of the purchases that we are making. And this is essentially a web app that allows users to keep track of their finances, keep track of the purchases that they're making, and they can enter their balance. They can log purchases under specified categories that relate to college students specifically. But pretty much anyone could use this web app, and it deducts from the overall balance, but it also keeps track of the individual category spendings as well. So this is the software requirement specification. And throughout this document, what I do was just specify the requirements, the boundaries uh, of the project, what the project will be covering and what it won't be covering. And there are diagrams included where we specify the constraints as well, the kind of features, the functional and non-functional requirements, and the design as well, kind of like the platform, what we're going to be using. And I also have the software design document where I go over kind of the architecture and the structure as well for the web app. So the web app has two main modules. So we have that user interface, which is the front end where the user communicates, and the application logic or the Python code in this case, the back end. And this is a diagram of the architecture. So the user is going to be interacting with the web page, the front end with the HTML, and the JavaScript is going to be communicating with the Python, and the Python with the JavaScript. And the Python is going to be that mediator between the front end and the database. So the Python will be communicating, sending and reading data from the database. And the architectural style as well that I chose to use, which is the client server style architectural pattern. But it could also be argued that it could be a model viewer controller, I believe it's called, pattern as well. And then we have the kind of the functions of these are the API endpoints in the server code. I'll go over that in a bit. And we have the data design. So the kind of the data structures that we're going to be using to send data back and forth. This is the structure of the data. So we have a users table and a purchases table, and the purchases table will be linked back to the user, to the specific user in a one-to-many relationship. I like to think of it as one user having many purchases, and the purchases are linked back to the users via a foreign key. And the design as well, the requirements for the hardware and the design decisions, so why I went with what I did. And there is also the software test document where I went over a few test cases. So the tests that I pretty much executed was user authentication. So verifying that the user it's stored in the data, meaning that if we sign up with a user, is that user data being stored? Like, can we log back in with those user credentials? And I also did a test case on the user account registration that we did. Can we successfully sign up a user to the and there are screenshots for evidence as well, and the duplicate username registration, so kind of testing as well if the data is being saved in the database. So if we create an account with a user and we try to create another account with the same username, Are we able to do that? Or do we get the error thrown at us that the username already exists and we're unable to create that account? Login and authentication. If we've previously signed up as a user, are we able to log into the account? This is the security. So what this test does is it checks if the password, the user's password that we are storing, is it being stored as just a plain text password, or is it being stored as a one-way hash? So we can see here that the database does effectively, or that we effectively, the Python code, the backend code effectively does its job by hashing the password before sending it to the database. And we have some other tests here as well. Negative balance testing and insufficient funds. So are we able to make a purchase that exceeds the amount that we have in our balance, or are we going to get an error thrown at us? And the testing summaries and the defect report along with the summary. So the conclusion being that 100 test cases passed of the 9 that I did, but obviously we know that there are many other test cases that could be documented. The ones that I chose to do happen to come out with a 100% pass rate. Um, but yeah, onto the application here. This is what the user is greeted with. The user is led to the sign up page. If the user already has an account, he can log in, such as that. So it pretty much is just entering a username, a password, and a starting balance. And you click that sign up button, and you are brought to this screen where you have your category totals over here for food, rent, textbooks and materials, transportation, entertainment, and miscellaneous. If you decide to log a purchase, say, oh, I got $100 worth of groceries one week, we can add the purchase and we'll get a message saying that the purchase was successfully logged. And we can see over here in our spending summary that that $100 purchase is added. And if we wanted to add some, say we're starting the semester and we need to spend, oh, and we can also see that that $100 purchase on food was also deducted from our available balance. Say another purchase is school's coming up and we need to buy some textbooks, get some materials for the classes. If we have $50 to that, we add the purchase, we see that it was logged successfully, and we can also see it here. And the $150 uh, is all in total is deducted from the balance, as you see there. And say if we get a paycheck or something and we get added income, so we're at 585, say we had uh, a $150 paycheck for the week or so. We can edit the balance here, entering the new balance of $6,000 again, and we can just click save and we'll see that the available balance updates to 6,000 again. And we can also see as well, if we try to save a blank amount, we are unable to. We are required to fill out the field. And this is pretty much the interface. And we obviously know that the data is communicating between the front end, the server code, and the back end code and the database as well. So we can log out as well. And we can log, now we're at the login page. If we try logging back in with the username that we used, the same password that we used, we see that we are able to arrive back at our account safely. And you'll see in the and that's pretty much the account. That's pretty much the web app. So you're able to sign up and you have an account that's stored in the database.